Yes, folks, today I'm doing yet another episode of Timmy Trainwreck, this time refuting the False Messiah's video about the CIA and mass shootings. I hope you've brought your popcorn, because it's going to be one heck of a show.
Vegas shooting is not a CIA plot to take your guns. November 4th, 2017.
That's a total straw man. No one is saying the CIA is plotting to take away anyone's guns. What people are saying is that the government, not the CIA, is staging shootings like Vegas as an excuse to grab our guns, which, by the way, is also patently false and easily disproven. Please do continue your nonsensical rant.
This video is for all the gun nuts who think the Vegas shooting is a CIA plot to take away their guns.
I don't know of any such people who think that. As I said, that is nothing but a straw man.
If the government wanted to take your guns, they would simply take them away. Period.
True, but you didn't say government in the previous utterance. You said CIA. There's a big difference.
It doesn't matter to them that it's against the Constitution.
Of course it does. Otherwise they would have done it already.
They didn't mind going against the Constitution when they passed the Patriot Act.
Perhaps they didn't, but again, why didn't they already seize guns if they didn't mind going against the Constitution?
They didn't even mind going against the Constitution of the United States and all of its armed forces when they inserted the Second Amendment into it.
That proves you don't have a clue what you're talking about. Inserting the Second Amendment into the Constitution isn't going against it, as I will explain.
That's right. The Second Amendment is against the original Constitution that our forefathers drew up, fought, and died for.
No, it's not. Article 5 of the Constitution itself states quite clearly that if and when an amendment is ratified, it then becomes part of the Constitution. I told you that back in March 2012 in the comments section of your now deleted video titled Dexter, Michigan Tornadoes. But you didn't listen to me then, so you will most likely not listen to me now.
Nobody fought to insert the Second Amendment into the Constitution.
Wrong again. The self-same founding fathers who fought to create the Constitution and get it ratified on September 17th, 1787, also fought to get the first 10 amendments, collectively known as the Bill of Rights, ratified, which they were on December 15th, 1791. Read your history, stupid.
Nobody even voted to insert the Second Amendment into the Constitution.
More nonsense. You can't get an amendment ratified without a vote. And why all this focus specifically on the Second Amendment and not of the others supposedly being forced into the Constitution? Do I dare ask why you're so obsessed with the Second Amendment?
The government just inserted it because they wanted to enslave people.
Oh, seriously, can even you be that stupid? The government just inserted it because they wanted to enslave people. Really? And do you have any evidence, or are you just going to run your big hairy mouth over and over again, trying to fatigue people into agreeing with you?
The Second Amendment was inserted into the Constitution by terrorist groups like the NRA and the Confederates.
First of all, the Second Amendment was signed into law in 1791. Second, the Confederacy didn't even exist until 1861. And third, the NRA wasn't even formed until 1871. So you just committed a gross anachronism, like only a stupid idiot would. Be sure to look up the word anachronism in Webster's dictionary, as I know you have no clue what it means.
Who lost the war and thought they could regroup at a later date to overthrow the unionized government that they lost to.
Please read a history book for the first time in your miserably pathetic, unproductive life. Don't just go spouting off stuff you know absolutely nothing about.
Because they were the rich people who became rich by enslaving people.
That's just ignorant class bias. Why do you hate rich people so much? I think it's because you could never become rich yourself and are supremely jealous of them. But you're obviously not smart enough to know how to become well-to-do.
But they just didn't enslave the blacks. They also enslaved the poor whites, Mexicans, Asians, Indians, etc.
Again, care to back that up with facts? No. I thought not.
Now, I should make a video or book titled, begin quote, Banning Guns for Dummies, end quote. Because if these gun nuts are right that the CIA had used this Vegas shooting to try to ban guns, then they need to read a book titled, begin quote, Banning Guns for Dummies, end quote.
No one would buy it. Any book written by you would not be good enough to be published, let alone widely read, because your schizophrenic mind is so mixed up you can't even complete a sentence without changing the subject.
Do these gun nuts really believe that Virginia Tech shooting was a failed attempt by the CIA to ban guns?
I don't even know anyone who says they believe that. You seem to be the only person even mentioning this conspiracy theory, thus making it a straw man. If attacking a straw man is the best method you can use for an argument, then you have already lost that argument.
Do they really believe the CIA is cowering in the corner because they failed to ban guns with the Virginia Tech shooting?
No, they don't, and they're not saying that they do.
These gun nuts are so stupid that even after all these school shootings, they think the CIA is still trying to ban guns by killing innocent people.
The CIA doesn't make the laws, you idiot. Even most Americans who can't even identify the three branches of government know that. But it's plain that no new gun control laws are being enacted in the wake of mass shootings, and that gun sales, in fact, shoot through the roof after each one. Therefore, if the government were actually staging these shootings as a pretext for seizing people's guns, then they would be doing a very poor job of it.
That's why I'm making this video, that I should have titled, begin quote, Banning Guns for Dummies, end quote, just in case the gun nuts are right.
The gun nuts are wrong, and so are you, as you have already more than aptly demonstrated.
If the CIA wanted to ban guns, they wouldn't kill innocent people.
Again, the CIA doesn't make the laws, dummy.
Ways to ban guns for dummies. First, draw up a document titled, begin quote, Hillary for prison, end quote, and start off the document on how they're going to try to put Hillary in prison.
That's a complete non sequitur. Stop changing the subject. It makes you seem crazy. Oh wait, you are crazy.
In the fine print of the document is the executive order to ban guns.
That won't work, unfortunately.
And because Trump is such an idiot,
not half as big an idiot as you, so watch what you say.
He will never even read the document. He will sign it, and guns will be banned.
No, he won't, and no, they won't. You're living in a delusional fantasy world that would turn into everyone's nightmare if it were real.
If that doesn't work, the CIA could just do the same thing they did to Kennedy.
That was the NRA, not the CIA. And once again, the CIA doesn't make the laws.
They would take Donald Trump in the back room, show Trump the compensated video footage of the CIA agent on the grassy knoll.
Compensated? You mean confiscated, right? If you can't even tell the difference between those two words, you are an even bigger idiot than I thought. And confiscated from whom?
Shooting Kennedy and say, begin quote, see what we did to Kennedy? Sign this executive order to ban guns, end quote.
Must I keep repeating myself? The CIA doesn't make the laws.
If Trump said, begin quote, I don't care, I'm not signing it, I'm an idiot, end quote, then they would simply send Trump off to Camp David or a vacation in Hawaii. Air Force One would mysteriously crash on the way home, and the fake news headlines on major media would say, begin quote, Trump's plane crashes on the way back from signing the executive order to ban guns, end quote. And all gun owners know, dead men tell no tales.
You really do have the most ridiculously stupid conspiracy theories, don't you?
I got about 100 other ways the CIA could ban guns.
CAA? You mean the CIA, don't you? You're so crazy you can't even keep your name straight. Probably brain damaged from excessive drug abuse.
if they actually wanted to ban them. But I'm not going to make those ways public.
Good, because no one wants to hear them. They wouldn't work anyway, and you know it.
I'll just let the gun nuts digest the propaganda.
Oh, trust me, they will do that anyway, whether you let them or not. But they will ignore your propaganda, as will anyone in their right mind.
Guns are what the government uses to keep us in bondage.
Spoken like a true slave, idiot.
Government doesn't have enough cops to keep men in bondage.
No, but the NRA certainly has enough guns to do it.
They have to arm gun nuts and brainwash them into believing they are free and have a right to bear arms. And those are the people keeping us in bondage.
Wrong again. People like you are spreading misinformation that keeps us ignorant and in bondage. Well, folks, that's it for today's episode of Timmy Trainwreck. I'm your host, Alflond, signing off.